Hi, I'm Alec Baldwin, and I am the announcer for the New York Philharmonic on our WQXR broadcasts. I mean, I met Bernstein on TV, like everybody else of my generation. I never met him, much to my dismay or my sadness, because obviously he was somebody who delighted and kind of lifted up everybody he ever met. Such a culture, I don't want to say maven, but guru. Everybody who I know in New York, whoever met Bernstein, was crazy about him. That he was very intoxicating, apparently, to be around. Well, I think in terms of me, and from a purely selfish standpoint, that the Bernstein compositions that I love, Chichester Psalms I love. My brother Stephen sang one of those in a school program one year when he was a little boy, and we did a phenomenal job, I might say also. He was very good. But, I mean, for most people, Bernstein's classical compositions are worthy, and but Bernstein also has the condition of being the writer of music in the halcyon days of filmmaking in the 60s and going into the 70s. And so West Side Story is an iconic film. On the Waterfront is an iconic film. And the composition of the scores for both those films become iconic pieces of music. I will say that when I did the movie Madagascar 2, and Ben Stiller's character announced he was going to go off to New York to become a Broadway star, and my character was this very evil lion who was like kind of a thorn in his side in the lion community we're in. And I said to him, hey, good luck with whatever the lines. I'm like, hey, good luck with that when you go to New York. And as he walked away, I went, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, and he turned around. I was like, ooh. And they said to me, oh, don't do that because we can't afford the rights to that song. They said, oh, don't hum West Side Story. That would cost us a fortune to put it in the movie. So, but I tried. The second part of that is in terms of what I think he's remembered for is the young people's concerts. Because, I mean, I know that's a cliche and people are always underlining that, but nowhere in the world of television at that time when there was this edict, there was this requirement that the public airwaves be used for some public good. We had a whole host of rules and regulations about what was on TV and what wasn't on TV and why that doesn't exist today. I mean, now TV is just a profit-making. It's like a soil that's been stripped of all its nutrients to grow as much corn per square acre that we can. And what's on TV that's good and worthy and important has been completely just swept aside. But back then, in another time in our lives, when I was a kid, you had people like the Young People's Concerts with Leonard Bernstein, which was just incredible. But when I think of Bernstein, what I think about is someone who, although there were other people who achieved this before him, just as there were other people who were powerful orators and powerful statesmen in politics prior to JFK, Bernstein, like JFK, like many people in the 60s when TV really begins to bloom into what it would become, Bernstein is the maestro that all become compared to in terms of his passion and his sexuality, if you will. I mean, he's a very, very, kind of the leonine hair and the kind of gyrations, and every time you think of Bernstein, you think of him in this kind of state of ecstasy in front of the, like he's getting more out of it than the audience is, in some ways. And that becomes a model for other people. Bernstein is like Bill Haley. Bernstein is like Elvis. Bernstein sets the standard for everybody that comes after in terms of their excitement quotient, their sexiness quotient, their movie star quotient. The maestro was always a dignified, honored, admired presence, and now the maestro was a star. Bernstein is the first star maestro in the modern era, beyond Schulte and beyond guys who have great careers, Zell and Stokowski and people conducting back in, 50 years ago, Bernstein becomes the model for the conductor, like Dudamel and Muti, and people who bring a tremendous amount of passion and a component of theatrics to what they do. Bernstein is to the classical repertoire and the role of the conductor what the Beatles are to popular music, really.